actually going to get on to the next part of our event. Our next speaker is just busy being mic'd up at the moment. But I'm going to give just a short little introduction to him. His name is Issa Ataya, and he is the CEO of Aleph Group. And now Aleph Group is a very interesting company because they actually are pioneers in the Sharjah real estate market. I think we've got a good indication of what's happening in the Dubai market, which has obviously been red hot, and as Fibber alluded to, it's maybe starting to stabilize somewhat. But there are all these other emirates around us where people are starting to look at the opportunities and the investment opportunities that exist there. And Sharjah has certainly seen a lot of interest. So I think Issa is ready, and I'm going to welcome him onto stage. If everybody can please give him a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good morning, distinguished guests, colleagues. It's a great honor to be here today and to have this opportunity to talk about the subject that is close to my heart and everybody's heart, I think, which is evolving around the real estate market with a particular focus on Sharjah being an emerging market for the last few years. And I'm going to restructure my remarks into three main key themes. First, let me begin with the economic context. So the UAE continues to demonstrate remarkable economic vitality, which is truly ambitious, especially in Dubai, with a $8.7 trillion development program. Such initiatives anticipate population to go more than double by 2040 from 3.6 million to 7.8 million, creating a sustained housing demand for developers, real estate agents, and it goes without saying this level of projected growth presents both challenges and opportunities for our real estate sector. Particularly in terms of meeting residential demand while maintaining quality and affordability. It's worth also pointing out this transformation extends well beyond Dubai. The success of this approach is evident in the UAE continued. So it's already, it will go beyond Dubai, and definitely Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah will get, and other emirates will get benefit of it, each of which developing its own distinctive response to demographic shifts. The current climate is particularly encouraging. The UAE non-oil sector has reached a 5-year high in sentiments, while creating jobs is at 8-year peak as well. So this broad-based economic strength is reflected in the real estate market, where we see a robust demand and rising rentals in both prime residential and grade A office spaces. Moreover, this growth occurring across multiple sectors: residential, commercial, and retail. Turning to the other, my second theme, what is that makes the UAE uniquely attractive to investors? One strong factor is that for the third consecutive year, the UAE has been recognized as the leading nation in which to establish a business. This reflects supportive government policies, highly efficient administration, and a truly world-class regulatory framework. The success of this approach is evident in the UAE continued ability to attract record levels of foreign direct investment. Our leadership's commitment to maintaining this environment is unwavering, with ongoing initiatives to streamline process, enhance transparency, and protect investor interest. But beyond these fundamentals, the UAE offers additional compelling advantages. Total commitment to safety and security will always create a stable investment environment that is increasingly valued in today's uncertain world. Advantageous residency program, including the Golden Visa initiative, provide a long-term security for investors and their families, and the quality of UAE infrastructure from best-in-class healthcare to excellent schools. Together, these factors have created an environment where global high-net-worth individuals increasingly now view UAE as a real estate, not merely as an accommodation. But as a strategic investment opportunity, you only need to look at the most recent market surveys. Again, they show how investors from both within and outside the GCC region constantly rank the UAE among the most preferred destinations for real estate investment. This is hardly surprising when you consider the UAE unique combination of strong yields, capital appreciation, and lifestyle benefits. The last theme that I would like to talk about is to address Sharjah's distinctive position within this landscape. While Dubai and Abu Dhabi often capture headlines, Sharjah is rapidly establishing its own compelling narrative. Data from the first half of 2024 shows real estate trade in Sharjah increased by over than 35%. This growth stems from improved regulatory frameworks, strengthening investor confidence, and Sharjah's ability to offer high living standards at competitive prices. In fact, Sharjah's particular strength lies in its appeal to families and mid-tier investors seeking value without compromising on quality or connectivity. The Emirates development strategy has focused on sustainable, community-oriented growth, as well as infrastructure and urban development, and competitive rental rates. The result is highly attractive proposition for both residents and investors, particularly when you factor in Sharjah's long-standing commitment to culture, heritage, and education, which add another dimension to its appeal, particularly for families looking for long-term home. Looking ahead, the UAE real estate sector shows every sign of continued growth. The national economic agenda, robust policies, and commitment to innovation provide a very strong foundation for future development, whether in premium office spaces, residential properties, or emerging markets like Sharjah. The opportunity remains substantial. The challenge now is to maintain this momentum while ensuring growth remains sustainable and continues to meet the diverse needs of UAE expanding population. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward for our discussion. Thank you.
So I'm going to be moderating the next panel, which is all about looking at the new growth hubs. So all the other emirates outside of Dubai. We're looking at places like Ras Al Khaimah, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, all of the others taking a bit of a step back. And we've got some very interesting speakers who are going to be joining us. So obviously the first one is Issa Ataya, who is the CEO of Aleph Group. And joining him will also be Andrew Thompson, who is a partner and head of real estate, hotels, leisure, AR at Altamimi and Company. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Right, and then I'm also going to call onto stage Fouad Becker, who is the CEO of a company called Correlytics. If Fouad can please come onto stage.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Right, Fouad, I'm just going to ask you to sit here. Thank you. All right, so I'll sit on this side as I realize that there's a whole setup with refreshments, etc. over here. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. Issa, I just want to begin with you because you've just given this keynote around some of the growth opportunities that exist within the market, particularly in Sharjah. And Aleph Group hit 2.4 billion AED in sales last year. Can you unpack that for us and what that means exactly?
Actually, our growth year to year was aligned with the real estate sector growth. Land department, we are one of the leading real estate developers at the meantime in Sharjah. The growth reflects different, there are many pillars for such a growth from the day we started till date. Number one is definitely the government policies and the regulator, real estate registration department in Sharjah. The freehold that was introduced last year, beginning of 2020, or 2 years, couple of years back, beginning of 2023, we noticed a big demand coming from different markets, a very diversified profile of buyers from different markets. Today, if we look to Aleph profile, our buyers profile, you'll find Indians are the first buyers, exceeded all other nationalities, including the UAE. Before 2023, we used to see only demand from the local market, and we used to do efforts. Outside the UAE. However, results were not really great before 2023. So that's pillar number one, is the regulation. Number two is definitely what Sharjah stands for, what Sharjah appeals for. We focus in Aleph Group in developing a very community-centric that really reflects the values of Sharjah, what Sharjah stands for. And we target people in different continents, from Europe to the US to Australia to even Asia, who's seeking such lifestyle. Our quality is another pillar. We are very well recognized as a quality developer, and we don't want to be the biggest. We want to be the boutique that deliver value for the customers and build trust, because all of planned sales is about trust, and this is very important. Plus, definitely, I want to be also fair. Our proximity to Dubai, that's a big advantage for us. And we as a group, we focus on investing in lands where we have very easy access to Dubai. If you look to all our current projects and developments, you're going to find it just almost on borders of Dubai, Dubai Sharjah, and on a highways, 311, 611. So, and I want to add on this point, I believe in Sharjah, you're getting the quality of Dubai, if not better in many cases as well, with a better value. So the value we give, we are the most maybe the highest price per foot in Sharjah, yes, but if you compare to Dubai, you're gonna get way better value than what you get in. If you compare, to Dubai, you're gonna get way higher value as a customer compared, or investor, compared what you may get in Dubai.
So it's still very competitively priced.
So, sorry?
It's still very competitively priced compared to Dubai.
Yeah, no, I want to tell you as well, I can tell you from the time we started, I'm talking about single project Mamsha, let's say, when we started, our selling price started maybe 800, 900 per foot. Today we sell 1,400 per foot or 1,500 per foot in some cases. So we almost did big jump in the price, and we still have a lot of demand. However, if you compare this to Dubai as investment and yield, you see, yeah, we're still competitive. But same unit, you want to get it here in Dubai, you may pay, I don't say double, but maybe 50% on top of it.
Okay, interesting, because I've just moved out to Dubai South, so I don't know if I should consider Sharjah as an option. All right, so Andrew, before I get to you, I just want to ask something of Fouad Becker, who's the CEO of Correlytics. Fouad, if you can maybe just quickly explain what your company does, because you've got access, you're a prop tech, and you've got, I guess, access to a lot of data around how the markets in this region are performing, right?
Yes. So my first company, actually, which was acquired 3 years ago by Property Finder, was in the data space also, on AI. And then I joined Property Finder as VP of Data and AI. And now Correlytics is about how to market properties better using AI. So it's all about AI and real estate. We are in a very unique place here in the UAE. I don't know any country in the world where we have seen since COVID a double-digit growth in transactions. And this is across, and it's not only Dubai. You have mentioned 118% in Ras Al Khaimah. We have seen double-digit, I think 54% in Abu Dhabi, and it goes across all the emirates. And this growth is driven by two main things. One is transforming the UAE from a transit place where expats come to make wealth for a few years and then leave, to a place that you can call home. That's one driver. The second driver is transparency and trust. And you mentioned that. Trust is super important for investors when they want to buy a property. One of the largest purchases that they will do in their life. And technology come to support these two, so enable that. I have been working with leadership in government in Dubai Land Department, RERA, in Abu Dhabi, with Abu Dhabi Real Estate Center, in order to implement regulations to make transparency and trust more strengthened, how to make sure that properties are advertised are the right ones, that the brokers, they have the authorization to do that, and we support that with technology, and we are helping also agencies to make properties look better, because that's very important when an investor come from outside of the country. When they come to a portal and they see a property that doesn't look good, that's the image of the country that takes a hit. And that's how we can help them. And you can see that from the FDI, which is the foreign direct investment. We have seen just in Abu Dhabi an increase 300%. And this is a number that a lot of people miss, and it's a testament to the trust that all foreign investors have in the UAE.
So when you say that number, so that's foreign direct investment has jumped 300% in Abu Dhabi. How does that impact the real estate sector then as a result? Because I think the perception out there is that Abu Dhabi is perhaps a more stable market, if you like. It's almost the big daddy in the room, right?
Yeah, so I mentioned Abu Dhabi, but actually it's across all emirates. It's different need, different investor personas. When they invest, the ones that invest in Abu Dhabi are not the same that we invest in Ras Al Khaimah for different reasons. But FDI is one of the most critical numbers that foreign institutional investors will look at before coming to a country. And it helps you also increase in your trust index around the world. And it's a cycle. The more FDI you get, the more trust you get from other investors, the more those investors come, and the more FDI goes up. So it's a cycle.
And Fahad, just quickly, your take on Ras Al Khaimah. This is it's always been the small emirate. It's where it's been relatively quiet. Now there's a huge amount of activity, especially on Marjan Island. What are you seeing from your side in terms of what's going on in the market there?
Yeah, I think Ras Al Khaimah is doubling down on what works for Ras Al Khaimah. You want to have more waterfront properties. You don't have only investors coming from outside the UAE investing in Ras Al Khaimah. You have people who have settled in the UAE, bought their first home. Now they are thinking of an investment. They go into Ras Al Khaimah for more like rental properties, holiday rental. Yeah, that's how Ras Al Khaimah is different.
Okay, great, thank you. And Andrew, just to come to you, I mean, one of the enabling aspects about the market here has been the legal and regulatory sort of space around real estate. How has that evolved and changed and improved over the years? Because it seems like it's becoming a lot more streamlined, a lot more transparent. Do you think that's a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I think that is. If you look at the journey that we've all gone through, like I've been here 16 years, and when I first came here, to be honest, from an investor's perspective, it was quite a risky bet. We were at a time before escrow accounts. We were at a time before proper RERA wasn't around. It was the municipality. And actually that was magnified across, as again, we're meant to be talking about the other emirates. That was magnified across the emirates, Sharjah, Ajman, and Ras Al Khaimah. You've seen over the last 16 years since I've been here, a complete change in the regulatory environment. Certainly when it comes to Dubai, Abu Dhabi is 80% there. Ras Al Khaimah has just brought in some quite game-changing laws modelled on Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and Sharjah has made some significant amendments too. I think when we see our clients coming in, again, within that period, we've seen a complete change, much as what you were saying. Our demographics are generally foreign now. So in 2008, when I first started doing this, didn't matter where you were, Ras Al Khaimah, Abu Dhabi, whatever, it was normally a GCC national or GCC company that was making the investment, and they were comfortable with the legal environment that they were in. Now we are seeing people from Germany, France, the US. We're seeing massive funds coming into the UAE, investing in Ras Al Khaimah, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi principally. With a huge amount of confidence, actually, when it comes to the regulatory environment. Now, whether that's justified, I'm not necessarily sure. I would say the biggest challenge that we have as a law firm, outside of Dubai, because Dubai is a very different story, is the difference between the laws on paper and implementation in practice. So Ras Al Khaimah, for example, has a very, very modern and advanced set of real estate laws, which you would recognise if you're investing in Dubai. But the municipality hasn't necessarily put the systems in place to implement that and really sort of live the journey that they're aiming to be on. And that does impact on investors. We have seen investors, significant investors from the US, for example, coming to Abu Dhabi, and on paper it looks great. But actually, when you come, the laws don't translate into the practice. And when you're sitting in New York looking to drop like $1 billion on a large investment, let's say in a casino or in a hotel, you want everything to work perfectly, and it's not quite there yet in certain areas. Dubai it is. But honestly, we've never seen anything like it since we've been here. So irrespective of the niggles, and I would say they are small niggles, the reality is people have confidence in the courts here. There's no real corruption as far as we can see, which you compare it to a large number of European countries, is not necessarily the case. So we have no issue, and we're a large law firm in the Middle East, and we have no issue saying to our clients from all over the world, investing here is a good idea. There will be issues, but to be honest, if anybody's trying to buy a house in France, that's a painful process. So it's actually far easier here in pretty much all the Emirates than it is in certain European countries. So, but it is very different. It's advanced a huge amount.
That's very interesting, because one of my favorite sayings is that often regulation lags innovation, but it sounds to me as if the regulators here are trying to innovate in terms of putting the right laws in place, but like you say, the systems need to catch up.
It comes down to even software. So Sharjah municipality, they've brought in some new changes in relation to freehold, and we were investing for a very large fund recently, and we found out that the laws were great and actually worked very well for them, but the municipality didn't have the software to to implement the change, and that's something we had to sort of lead on and put pressure on, and then speak to the government. But in fairness to them, we got it to work. But it's almost like you publish the law, put it in the newspaper, we've changed, but you haven't necessarily put in place the systems to enable that change. But again, that's no different to most countries, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think things here are moving at a much faster pace than in other parts of the world, that's for sure. Issa, I want to come back to you, and I want to talk about your diversification strategy. But before we get to that, Andrew mentioned something interesting about escrow accounts.
Yeah.
And I think you've got some interesting thoughts about that, right?
I think soon this is going to be applied in Sharjah as well, and that will definitely improve the trust in the market itself, and it will support the real estate investment in general. And I noticed recently also there are many players trying to be in Sharjah, and you're going to see many, I believe many more people is going to come in. And still the market is really, I think it's thirsty for something good and more of community living. And it's here an open market, and you do better, you get better results. So I think that's also another push to the real estate sector in general, and I know that's going to be applied soon.
And let's talk about diversification from Aleph Group's side. Obviously, you're making a name for yourself in Sharjah, but are you looking to other emirates? What are you diversifying in terms of the projects that you're doing? How are you approaching this?
See, we company our core in Sharjah. We have also that ethical obligation to the emirate from urban development, and at the meantime, all our ongoing projects are in center of Sharjah, I have to say, in the mid area. Between 311 and 611. We're looking for some opportunities to the east and some other opportunities to the west. And here, east and west, because Sharjah is very much to east-west, not to south-north. No? So we're going to diversify. The strategy on the product is just to diversify the product. We want to keep the 700,000-800,000 starting price in projects like Mamsha, Ulfa. We want to go to more of branded. Soon we will announce branded. Maybe 1.5-2 million dirham starting price. We have also Hayyan, which is it's a villa and townhouses, which is something between 2 million to 10 million. We're studying seriously something with ultra luxury. I'm not going to talk much about it now, but that's something also we're discovering. So we want to diversify the product where we attract different segments, because we've seen a big shift, as I told you earlier, in the demand markets. If you look to the profiles now, you see a lot of nationalities in our data. That's from product itself. From market, we're going to focus on mid of Sharjah, trying to cover it from all sides, east, west, med. Maintaining our core there. Definitely in the future, could be near, could be a bit far. Yet we're studying that. We have the appetite and the plan to invest also outside Sharjah. Definitely, and because we strongly believe in our product, and I know we'll be competitive in markets. Okay, so the diversification is taking two dimensions: markets and product, basically.
Okay, great. And Fahad, I want to come back to you for one of my last questions for this panel, and that's just around what you're seeing in terms of some of the buyer profiles that are entering, the market within the UAE generally. I mean, does Corelytics have any insight into that, or any insight into the kind of people who are looking at perhaps all of these different emirates and looking to invest there?
So at Coralytics, we are an enabler of the ecosystem. We offer more than 80 AI capabilities for different stakeholders. So we support marketplaces like the portals, like for example, Property Finder, they check with our AI property listings across 5 countries. We help the regulators. We help the real estate developers. For example, we offer staging with AI, where you can reimagine homes with 1 click. You can transform a 2D floor plan to a 3D floor plan in 1 click instead of paying $60 for it. So all of these technologies, we offer them to kind of transform their marketing and get the best of return on their marketing investment. And we have seen adoption across different stakeholders, not only in the UAE, but also internationally. And that will continue in driving better marketing for properties and better ROI for everyone.
Okay, great. So, but within that marketing push, are you seeing that they're attracting any kind of particular profile of buyer, or?
Yes, different segments of investors. First, we have seen a growth in residents in the UAE buying more properties. Then you have all the flock of investors, millionaires coming to the UAE, and I don't know if you've seen the number. Just in the UK last year, it was like 10,000 millionaires. This year is going to be around 12,000. So we've seen that as well. Then you have investors from countries that we wouldn't have imagined, like in the Middle East. You have the Iraqis coming here. You have from Egypt, a lot of them buying not only in the UAE but also in the region, in Saudi, for example. We've seen that as well. So we are attracting a lot of diversified personas that we didn't have before. Yeah.
Okay, great, excellent. So I'm going to open the floor to questions. I don't know if there's anybody in the audience who wants to ask any of our panelists any questions. I see there's a hand up at the back. I think we'll just need to get a microphone there.
Good morning, everyone. This is Faiza Nasser. I'm heading the retail loan section of one of the banks in UAE. This topic actually is very close to my heart, like everybody else, but I've shortlisted only 2 questions to be asked from the panelists. One thing is that Arada definitely has done a tremendous job in terms of diversified property segments. They have in Dubai also, they have in Sharjah. But I'm keen to know about, is there any specification about the investors that they are keen to have from space perspective? So what I mean to say is that the same property, they can get it in Dubai at a different price with a smaller unit size. They are more keen towards going for the bigger size in Sharjah, or they are okay to pay whatever the smaller unit in Dubai itself, because Dubai has a different persona mindset of the Emirates. Second question is about the size and the swimming pools. What I can see is that the swimming pools are coming up as a kind of a selling point in Dubai, but from the maintenance perspective, I can feel it's not a good opportunity for the maintenance and for the mortgage perspective as well. So how the developers are seeing the swimming pool nugget in terms of selling to the investors? I mean, I need to know from the investment point of view as well as from the mortgage point of view. So how the swimming pools are adding value or not adding value to that development sector? Thank you.
So I'll start from actually, as Alif, we're building a 50,000 square feet lagoon. It's already under execution in Hayyan. So the swimming pool is so tiny compared to this. So see, the maintenance of a pool, actually, if you've got the right mechanical system and definitely the right insulation, maintenance is negligible. The only maintenance you require is just to clean the pool daily and put the right chemical for it and keep the water running. So that has got some operating, if I have to say. or monthly expense, which is, I think in UAE, it could be around 500 to 800 dirham per month. You may consider it as your DEWA bill or additional to your DEWA bill, something like that. So whether people really gonna buy a house for the swimming pool, I'm being honest, I'm not confident about this statement. I don't believe that. I think at least developer from us, when we're looking for the right positioning of the project, we look for bigger ideas. Yani, if you look to Hayyan, where we have a lot of pools as well, we don't really promote pools. We promote the lagoon, which is a very high technology that gives you a feeling of. Yes, you want to say something?
Yeah, this pool part is particularly related to the apartments, which they are offering nowadays, the developers in the apartments. For villa, there is not at all problem.
I missed this point, sorry.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll come to this. But saying that, so we like to promote, we're promoting the lagoon. We're promoting also something different, which is very close to my heart. And more, in my opinion, it's much more beneficial and sustainable, is allotment, where you can plant your own organic vegetables or whatever. So that's basically two big pillars for such a project, or I can say the unique selling proposition in the market, which we build the sales story around it. And I think there are many real estate brokers here, agents, they need such story to easily sell. At first, to engage them in and sell. Because also brokers today, you've got too many developers doing a lot, so they want a developer who they feel they have the full ability to sell. Number one. Going to the pool in apartments, yeah, that was a trend. I think that's a trend that goes up, and one day you will not hear much about it. Because that's healthy to the market, because that tells you that at least developers thinking what to do. As a developer, I won't do this pool on every balcony or something like that. It's a high risk. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. In a residential building with this much. But again, if you execute the right quality, the right system, I think it could be an option. Why not? The first question was about the space. No, I think that's what I was at the beginning telling about the value. I think here I'm referring to the space. I don't want to go to specific number and sound like but if you buy in Hayyan a villa of 5-bedroom with a certain maybe 5,000, 6,000 square feet built up area, and maybe 7,000, 8,000 plot area, maybe you got it at 7 million dirham, 7 million dirham. I think such a product in Dubai today is 12 million. Yeah, so that's the value I'm talking about. And I don't think it's the size, to be honest with you. So the trend in general in market is going smaller, more worldwide. I'm talking. I'm not sure.
Developer friendly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but we try to be generous as much as possible when it comes to size, because that's what I believe people come to us compared to Dubai. So the value itself, because you can't speak size without price, without cost, because also the panelists before us, they were talking about the challenges, and one of the developers were here and talking about, and I totally agree with them. I mean, today supply chain is a challenge, the contractors challenge, so there is a lot of challenges in the market due to the big demand, definitely, and too many developers and too many construction going on. So I think we look for both sides. We look for the value. That's what I want to say.
It's a very natural thing around the world, actually, to see spaces getting less. It's a trade-off between price and space. And the more a real estate market matures, the more investment you get into an area, the less land. So it's either they raise the price, or give you more space. So
I have to add something as well. Yeah, today there is challenge in lands as well. Not only, also as developers, that's one of our biggest challenge, especially being on the head of the company from day one. That's the biggest challenge, is how we secure land bank for the future. And that's a challenge, by the way, as well. I think developers would know that.
That's very interesting, because when I look out into the desert often, it seems like there's plenty land out there. Was it just...
Yeah, fine. It looks a lot of lands, but you need to make sure that you put the right infrastructure to the land, and you have the tap point to continue this infrastructure. So for us, we're going to look for it different way, right? So I think, alhamdulillah, we have flat country here, and we have a lot to do. I'm not saying, but it's a challenge now. Even in Dubai, I know that. It is a challenge everywhere. Sharjah, Dubai, everywhere.
I think we can squeeze in one more question if anybody has a question to ask. I don't know. We got a hand up right over here. I don't know if we have a microphone. Okay, the mic is coming to you shortly.
Thank you, everyone. Myself, Kanwar. I'm from Marketing Department, Annex Developments. My first question is to Mr. Fortbacker. I believe you have enough knowledge on the data science of we are working with the regulator, you're working with the property finder, and I'm not sure if we're working with Beirut also, but based on your advice, what is the growing number of developers, both in terms of new product development and marketing? What's your advice for them? And where do you see, what do you suggest, what kind of product they should be focusing on?
So I think it's not preaching my choir. I think technology is the way to go. You can see a trend in AI, but you need to find your way through that haze of tools that you are being offered. Focusing on return on investment, it's critical. How you position the product, how you advertise it. Be smart about SEO. I give you an example. Right now, people, when they search completely differently. They have now ChatGPT. And they want to know about who are the best developers. They go to ChatGPT and ask who are the best developers in Sharjah. And if the developers are not thinking about that, then the ones who are thinking about it are the ones who will come on top. So there are things like these that kind of shifts how consumers look at products, what they select, what they have visible to them, how it is ranked, those kind of things. And I think that's the focus. That's where the focus should be. Is how the technology, how can I use it the best way to drive more return on my marketing investment, but also how can I make sure my brand is being presented the right way compared to my competition.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. My second question to all of the panelists. I'm here for the last 20 years, so I've seen in the beginning there used to be buildings only. Then we have seen the community building where the large villa community came. So the developer moved toward the community sector and trying to build the community within this thing. And now we have seen building converting to community itself, where there are lots of amenity and the feel of community within the building itself. So where do you see the next move is? What the next move will be? Because this is what's next after that.
I believe that shift, if you notice, it's more of convenience taking place. So before you used to have a single building, single plot, then more of a community living, then you're seeing the community within the building. That's of a convenience. And I think the market today, if you want to drive from somewhere in Dubai to come here, it's going to take you 1 hour. So you don't want to drive to seek something, to pick something. So commuting, it become challenge worldwide, I'm talking. This country has got the best infrastructure worldwide. Definitely no question about this. However, and you still see RTA investing. Yesterday I was driving somewhere, I was coming back from Abu Dhabi before yesterday, and I was shocked with Expo, this much of bridges. However, still you see the flow of traffic is crazy. You say, where are these people coming from? Huh? I born in Dubai. I've seen Dubai from the very beginning, I have to say. So it's convenience. I think people looking for convenience now. Lifestyles change. Social media plays a lot of role in this. Everybody need the lifestyle, need the sports, need the gym, need the grocery, need the green, need the sustainable living. So looking for all these things. This is becoming very, very important topics that developers, I think, need to plan. And I think now you need to add more of smarter than the smart home. So could be of AI home, I'm not sure. But I think this is all becoming a lot of evolving topics that I think need to be incorporated in the development process. Also as developers also today, you can use AI to do for you concepts. So that's something we're exploring. So instead of spending a lot of hours, if we want to do a pitch for any land, and so just if AI can run it in a few hours, why not, So there is a lot of changes evolving, and I think you need to catch up. And I strongly believe also technology is a big topic that developers need to think, to incorporate, to improve the customer service, SLA, the process efficiency within the operations itself. And definitely all this is gonna get reflected to the end user, whether he's investor or he's into, also there was discussion about some fractions. This is also coming in, I think, strongly in UAE. And that will open a lot of market, because you can easily, if your salary is 5,000 dirham, you can buy a fraction in anywhere, or 10,000 dirham. Okay. So that's another segment for us. Today, our market is something earn X and above. So that's another big segment for us.
Okay,
so,
thanks.
And I think developers are going to tap it.
I think, sorry, we're just running out of a bit of time, but I know that Andrew wanted just to make a comment. Okay,
No,
all
please
good.
do.
All right, well, thank you very much. If we can have a big round of applause for all of our panelists here today.